Hello there, welcome to my channel and happy Thanksgiving. So I thought I'd pop in. I saw a VR created on Toadstool's Tarot channel. I watched it this morning while I was getting ready for the day and I really enjoyed it. So I thought I would go ahead and do a VR to Toadstool Tarot hashtag decks to be thankful for this Thanksgiving 2022. I hope you guys all had a great day today for those of you celebrating Thanksgiving, and if not, it was a day of relaxation. I definitely had a great day relaxing and spending time with my partner and my dog. So yeah, I'm excited to do this. I think I'm going to kind of adapt this a little bit by adding on a few additional prompts to fit the decks that I'd like to be sharing. And of the decks that I'm sharing, most of these are actually new decks that I've picked up within the last month or two. So I thought I'd create the hashtag decks to be thankful for around the new decks that I acquired. So the first prompt for this hashtag decks to be thankful for is a deck to be thankful for. So yeah, great one to start with because I just got the Grunge Tarot and my birthday was yesterday and my partner gave me this tarot here. I gave him the challenge of picking out a deck for me that embodies him and also kind of embodies well, actually would be more like a token of where we live and my favorite place that I like to go. So he said it was like, it didn't take very long for him to come across this deck. He had to go behind like a lock case and get somebody to open it to get it out. But definitely we both share a liking and interest in grunge music in general. That's kind of the type of music that we both grew up on. We also really enjoy exploring the birthplace of grunge, which is the Seattle area. Anyways, he just embodies kind of that grunge flavor as well. And so this is the intersection of all those things. The intersection of, he bought this from my favorite bookstore. It embodies his essence of his grungy look. It embodies our interest in grunge music. So yeah, just to show you a little bit of it, because I actually just got it yesterday. This was one that I had looked at before and I kind of passed on it because it wasn't really the type of illustrations that I'm into. That's the Queen of Cups there, the Page of Swords. And a lot of the images kind of appear very similar to each other, but I think what really led me to want to keep this, because the whole thing was if he happened to purchase the deck that I already owned, I would probably return it. But I didn't own this already, but we were looking through it and we weren't really sure about it. You can see the Space Needle there in the background. But a lot of the images seem very similar with something to do with food, records, or like a musician singing, which makes sense because I mean it's the Grunge Tarot, but there didn't seem to be a lot of variation in how this was illustrated. I think the cup suit was one that didn't have too much variation, but I think what made this really a great deck is the book, because the book not only describes what we're seeing in the picture, but also it references the band and the song, and sometimes the character in the pictures are the musicians themselves of that band. And so as my partner and I were looking through it, we definitely recognize a lot of the people and the songs and the bands. And then on top of that, it incorporates it into the meaning of the card. And it does it in a very deep, thoughtful, reflective way that I feel like just really adds to this. So since we got it, we had used it quite a bit already just in the couple days that I've had it, and we found that it was a pretty good reader. So this is the Grunge Tarot, and this is the deck that I'm thankful for because now it's basically like a token piece of our time together, of where we live, and just our relationship and who we are as individuals and who we are together and what we connect on. So that's the Grunge Tarot for a deck that I'm thankful for. And these are the fun backs. I'm going to have a lot of fun edging this deck. Can't wait. Okay, so the second deck is, well, it was supposed to be sweet potato pie, but I switched it to sweet potato casserole because I'm going to mention a different pie. So the sweet potato casserole, which I love, is a deck that is sweet and friendly. And although Halloween is over, I actually just got this in the mail, so I wanted to be able to show it even though it's no longer Halloween. And the deck that's like a sweet potato casserole is this Itty Bitty Boo Lenormand. And this is by Lorraine Music. And you can purchase this or contact her actually at divinationapothecary.com, I believe. And then you can order it from her. She usually has, I believe, one that you can download yourself and have it printed. But I paid to have her print it so that I didn't have to do that. And it was printed on a linen cardstock. The images look like they were painted with watercolor, and it's definitely got a very Halloween or fall vibe to it. But to me, it's very enchanting. It's very sweet. I do have quite a few Lenormand decks that I do like to use once in a while, and this one's very different from most of the ones that I have. So I think this is a really good pick. It's sweet like sweet potato casserole, and I think it's definitely one that will motivate me to use it year after year. Probably pairs well with my Boo Tarot, which is so cute as well. So it gives that spooky storybook vibe. So yeah. That's the Itty Bitty Boo Tarot for my sweet potato pie casserole. And I think this kind of does go with the sweet potato pie theme. It's got this plaid pattern here and the little spider. So it feels very sweet potato casserole to me. Okay, so the third prompt now will be my pie. Like pecan pie, kind of nutty and earthy. I went with the Slavic Folklore Lenormand deck, and this one feels very much like sweet potato pie. I'm sorry, pecan pie to me. I don't know, like even just the colors looks like pecan pie. I did have a slice of pecan pie tonight for Halloween, Thanksgiving. Wow, I'm all mixed up. For Thanksgiving, and it was very delicious. So this is another Lenormand. I like this Lenormand not just because of the images. It definitely has that very Slavic vibe to it. Very enchanting, vibrant, very naturey, nutty, earthy, all that. But what's cool about this Lenormand is it has keywords at the bottom, which make it faster and easier to read with. Or if you just want to expand your meanings, I know I've heard lots of people mention it's difficult to work with Lenormand because it feels too confining. But I think these keywords at the bottom really add to it and help expand. I really love how the images depict Lenormand meanings in a different light. So that's kind of fun, changes it up, makes it more enjoyable to use. And it also came with this small book here with additional meanings, and then how you can do some of the spreads using the Lenormand. So yeah, I love the very, like, I don't know how to say it, but kind of the bold colors with also the muted darker colors, and the very dark line work in some of the pictures. Feels very geometric to me, but again, very enchanting. Yeah, so I love this a lot. It's great. I also bought the it's not accompanying. It's a book that has similar images from this deck, but in a storybook version. So it's almost like these images created a story, and it's kind of like a very large book. And so I have that. Cannot really be used with the Lenormand, but still very enchanting to have. So that's the Slavic Folklore Lenormand for my pecan pie pick. Okay, so the fourth pick is a deck that reads like stuffing, and I believe this was meant to be a deck that's kind of overwhelming and challenging. I will say that I don't eat typical bread stuffing, which is very popular for most people who eat stuffing. I eat a very distinct meat stuffing. It's got like 3 different types of meats in it, and it's a family favorite and tradition. And so because it's like one of my favorite dishes, this is a little bit contradictory, because I wouldn't say this deck is my favorite. It's one of my newest additions, but also it's kind of like the one that I'm saying, why did I purchase this? And I think because I thought it was quite artistic and so out of the box. All the suits are renamed. So you have music, painting, poetry, and science as the suits. And then even the numbers or court cards are also named differently. So this is like a complete overhaul of the system, done in a very artistic sphere, and it's got a lot to it. So I think given some time to dive into it and really try to memorize how the system is, it could be quite fun. But as I've mentioned in other videos, I don't have the best memory, so we'll see how this one goes over time. But I definitely think this is kind of overwhelming in just the sense that it's going to take a lot to really unpack this deck and become acquainted with it. Also, I do like the images, but since I've had a chance to like look through it, we'll see if it holds my attention over time, if I actually can fall in love with the artwork. I'm not sure. It's not reading very intuitive to me. So this might be more of an artsy deck. So this is a deck that reads like stuffing, kind of overwhelming, maybe just over the top, that extra layer of Thanksgiving meal. And that's the William Blake Tarot of the Creative Imagination. It's got beautiful gold edging. It's not going to be easy to shuffle, I can already tell. And the book, pretty interesting. When I read some of the entries, it's different, but it's different. It's very different. So this will take some time. Okay, like pure gravy is the 5th prompt. I chose the Stoller Tarot. So like pure gravy, this is a delicious delight, as gravy normally is. And the reason why I chose this is because this is the deck that actually reminds me of my partner. And we have been using this a lot lately together just because it is quite comical and fun and lighthearted, and it kind of cheers me up a little bit. It's very different, and he kind of embodies this deck, or this deck embodies him. I'm not sure which one, but I imagine if he was to draw a funny tarot deck with funny characters, cartoon characters, it probably would look a lot like this, except with stick figures, because he's not the best at drawing, but I have seen some stick figure work from him, and it's quite comical, so this deck feels that way to me. And also lately, when we've been pulling cards from this deck, we'll pull cards to inquire as to what my dog is thinking or feeling. And it's also been quite spot on for that. So most of the time, if I'm asking a question for and on behalf of my dog, there's going to be a dog in the card that comes up. So I think, let's see here if I can find any. Yeah, dog here. I believe the Queen of Swords has a dog in it. There's a dog in the Empress card. That card has come up. So I think one of the questions was like, here's another dog, how my dog feels about me. And the Queen of Spoons came up, or Queen of Swords. So it's just quite comical. So this is the Stoller Tarot. And like pure gravy, this is definitely a delightful deck to have. Also, what's cool about this book is it's a little cheeky in some of the descriptions of the cards. So I kind of like it. Puts a little spin on the original card meanings. 6th prompt is an acquired taste. I picked the Poe Tarot. I mentioned in a previous video that I had, oh geez, I forgot the name of it. I had the other Poe Tarot deck. Though I really love the images in that deck, I couldn't really get on with the illustrations because they didn't really go along with the card title and the meaning of the card. So my intention was to replace it with this deck instead. I felt like this deck is more poignant, and it solely focuses on Poe and his work. And I really love the illustrations of this deck. I would say this is like Cranberry Sauce, because you either love it or you hate it. I think because it's black and white illustrations, most people want color, which you could color these in, but you know, whatever. And also it has like some of his work at the bottom for the card meaning, and you know, could be quite subjective as to how people interpret whether or not that goes along with the card. The suits are a little different. Like one of the suits is paws, and it's purely mostly Poe as the person in the cards, although you'll see a lot of cats in this too. So I would say this is definitely an acquired taste, like Cranberry Sauce is. I love Cranberry Sauce, and I kind of love this Poe Tarot. So it's quite unique, and the book doesn't offer too much additional information from what's on the cards. So you're not going to get a lot out of this book as far as expanding meanings and adding something new to your bank of knowledge on tarot. But if you're just wanting to see something different in the cards, then this is a fun one to do it with, if you're into like Poe and, you know, all the variables of it. So yeah, this is the Poe Tarot. This came with gold gilded edges, which is beautiful. I heard from many people who mentioned they kind of already chip quickly, but I don't care. And these are the backs. Okay, next is what I call the green bean casserole. So I added this prompt, green bean casserole, meaning something kind of traditional and uninspiring. Tarot of the Old Path is a deck I had picked up while I was on the road. These are the backs, which happen to be a very vibrant teal color, and I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but doesn't really go with what, I mean, I would have thought this would be like more of a green, like kind of this green here, but it's definitely very teal. When I went to Northwest Tarot Symposium, they had this like big bucket of just random cards from many decks, and you could randomly pick one for fun. And so I had picked a card from this deck here, and that's what made me want to seek it out. I didn't get a chance to look at all the pictures before I saw and was able to purchase it. I felt like in some way it called out to me. And even though I say it's uninspiring, it's not very diverse. It's very traditional feeling. There's not a lot going on in the background. It's very up close. Like, for instance, also, I mean, just overall artwork, you know, palm tree, for me, does not really go with this. I don't know, so I think it's just a little bit of a miss for me because of even how the characters look. I'm not too fond, but I think over time, working with it, I'd be curious to see how I feel about it down the road. So it is fairly new, and I felt inspired to purchase it because of the card that I had gotten. I got the death card, which, let me see if I can find it. There's a lot of infant babies in this. It's a great hermit card. Another baby. I want to find... Oh my god, look at his hair. It's hilarious. So this was the card that I had picked out of that pot, and so it inspired me to be like, what deck is this? But like the whole deck doesn't really embody the vibe of this card, I feel like. So that's why it feels a little disconnected for me. Like some of the court cards, I'm not like this one. I don't know. This is like, I would love a deck with this art style, but this, not so much this. So it just feels different. I'm not sure why. Maybe because there's no people in this card here, but yeah, so I would say this is the green bean casserole. You know, not everybody likes the green bean casserole. A lot of people tend to skip on it. I don't mind it, but you know, I've never had a very unique green bean casserole. I mean, they all tend to be the same. So that's the Tarot of the Old Path. Okay, so I kind of went through all of the decks that I wanted to share for the hashtag decks to be thankful for. The last thing that I will share, I had purchased something on Etsy from a dear friend of mine. She had sent me the package recently, so this is kind of what it looks like. And so I thought I would share with you what I got from her. She sent me a copy of an oracle deck that she had made, Bliss Young. You can find her on Etsy under Bliss Young, and this is an oracle deck that she had created. She's very close to me, so I'm excited to show her stuff here. Maybe as a plug-in, I don't know, but you know, it's like I ordered stuff from her, I purchased it, and I told her I might show it here for anybody who's interested. You could send her a message directly if you're interested in getting this deck, and she can tell you how you can purchase it. But basically it's an oracle love deck. I'm gonna probably edge it soon, and the cards are more on the shinier side, but what's cool about her stuff is she does some really good research on all the things that she not only is into herself, but everything that she creates. And I felt like she had a lot of great keywords. I don't normally collect decks of this nature, like romantic love type stuff, so this will actually probably be my only deck that I keep, and it'll be my first of that genre. I'm not interested in any other decks featuring love and romance, but this one I am, because my connection with her. So yeah, I think this has a lot of great keywords, and it doesn't come with a guidebook, but she puts plenty of information on the actual card. I really love the imagery. It's quite romantic. I love these milky statues that feel cold, and then there's kind of like these layers of love. So this, I wanted to fit my Thanksgiving prompt of gathering. So being with friends and family and loved ones around the holiday, and that's what I thought I would plug in there. So that's a new prompt that I added. And what's cool about this deck too, so it's got 60 cards, but she also included 3 cards that are blank so that you can add what you feel is missing. So that's the Menagerie of Love, an Oracle Love theme deck by Bliss Young. I don't plan on showing like non-card stuff or non-book tarot related stuff on the channel, but along with it, I also purchased a really pretty ornament, and I love purchasing ornaments that are very unique, because what's cool about ornaments is like you can take it out at that time of the year, put it on your tree, especially ornaments that you collect from traveling, and you can just reminisce on every single ornament that's different, where you got it from, kind of like a capsule of time. And then at the end of the Christmas season or holiday season, you can put it away and you don't have to see it, and it's a very small way of you know, keeping track of loved ones, the things you accumulate, and places you've been. And you know, I have ornaments of my dog and of my accomplishments, and so yeah, I really love this from her. And I also purchased, for fun, just some really cool earrings. I kind of went a little crazy with it, but these are going to be great to wear for certain events, like metaphysical events that I love to go to, or holiday events. Like, I'm planning on wearing these for a Christmas event I have to go to, so that's going to be fun, and these for some metaphysical events. So yeah, and then she also kind of created my birth chart and had it printed on a card, so I thought that was really neat too. Yeah, I was born yesterday, November 23rd, so So all these things I just want to share with you because it's just things that I recently got. It's not normal or typical, but I thought I'd just throw it in with the loot of everything else that's kind of new to me. And that is my VR to hashtag decks to be thankful for. It'd be interesting if you had some different ones that you'd like to add, or if you wanted to change any of the ones I had. I did add maybe 3 more to the original VR. I didn't include a turkey one, like a turkey deck. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I believe the turkey deck is basically an unfortunate misstep. If I had to say which deck that I had shown already was an unfortunate misstep, I might have to say the William Blake Tarot, because again, I'm still trying to figure out like why I picked this up. Because I had been debating between like 5 decks total, and this was the one that I decided to get. And yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why. So maybe this could be my misstep, because it is going to be a little time consuming to dive into this, even though the images are beautiful. But we'll see. Yeah, so that's everything. Happy Thanksgiving again. All right, bye till next video.